Hello, it's Shantae from Stitching Hearts Embroidery. And before we get started on Giftmas Day 3, I wanted to run you through really quick how I use Stitchartist 3 to make my knockdown stitch. So first of all, I used a BX font and I used the create button and I went up to the last box on the right at the top and I chose to outline the word. And then the box right below that, I used to inflate that outline. Once the outline was inflated, then you see me here turning the result of the inflation, changing the colors and moving that first. It's just that simple. I inflated the outline and I deflated the holes. I did not remove the holes, but I deflated them. And so here you have it. There is the word. That's a BX font. I believe I'm just kind of measuring it and getting it straight. But that's just how simple it is. It probably took me a total of maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes to use Stitchartist 3 and add a knockdown stitch to the word. You can also get a knockdown stitch by using Enthusiast. Hello, hello, hello. It is Shantae again from Stitching Hearts Embroidery. Today is day 3 of Giftmas. It is my self-made challenge to get 30 gifts done in 12 days. So today is day 3, and I don't even know, I've lost count if I'm 6 in or 5 in or 7 in. I'm not sure. They're all laid out and I have to pull them all together. But today I am doing a baby blanket. This is one of the ones that I mentioned was a little bit longer process because I'm actually making the blanket. And so this is Shannon Minky that I used. This is just a blue color. I don't even know the name of it. And this is the teddy bear design. I've taken some creative liberty to pick the blue. I did notice that the baby shower theme was bears and blue. I'm not really sure about the color blue, but it doesn't really have to match the baby shower. And so, exactly, it's not part of the decoration. And so I just chose a nice blue. For the colors, for the thread colors, because it's the baby's name, and then there's a knockdown stitch behind it, just a light stitch or a light layer of stitches. And I chose one shade lighter than this. And then for the name on the blanket, I chose a darker, more royal type blue. I just wanted something kind of bright that would stand out. And so I'm going to put a short clip in here of showing you me designing the name. So the name is already here on my machine. I'm going to hoop this. I'm going to hoop the blue part. And then once it's done, then I will come back and sew the blanket, sew the two parts together. And so this is the one piece that'll be hooped. It's 1 yard. I'm going to add an extra layer of cutaway because this is, it's a little bit stretchy and it's just one layer, where the other blankets that I did the other day were already pre-made blankets. And so that was going through 2 layers. I used a cutaway, but I'm going to use 2 layers I used a tearaway for the other ones. But for this, I'm going to use 2 layers of cutaway. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to cut cleanly around them. 1 layer is a full layer in the hoop, and then the layer that'll be closest to the blanket is just a scrap piece right in the center where I know that the stitching will be. And so that's an effort not to waste so much stabilizer. So I'm going to bring my portable hooping station right over here to hopefully where you guys can see it. I'm going to angle you down a little bit. My room is just a mess. It has not gotten better, and I don't really expect it to, at least to the weekend, and maybe not until I finish with these 12 days. I'm not sure. So this is the scrap material that I said I'm just going to put right in the middle. And so I know that I'm not going to have that design hitting the sides of my mighty hoop. And so with it being a little short, it's perfect. I just want to secure it down a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of spray to it once I figure out where the blanket's going to go. And so I've decided that I like the look of the blanket. I'm going to put the name up pretty close to the top. And so a photo op for the baby would be that the blanket is laid out this way, the baby down here with the name up here. And then when you flip the blanket up some kind of way on the baby, then that's when the other side would show with the bears, or if you were to close it up. So the name could be up there, the baby down there. And so I like to put my name somewhere in the top 1/3. And so I'm just really simply finding the middle. I'm not measuring anything. I'm just going to fold it together, fold it hot dog style, and find the center, and then fold it down again. I have to keep in mind that I'm going to sew at least 1 inch around, all edges when I sew the front to the back. And so this looks pretty good to me. And so the name would be right in here. That'll give me 1 inch to sew up there, and then the baby could be under there. So I need to grab a pin to mark my center. And so this is making the center right here. Actually, this is kind of a lot. Let's bring that up just a little bit. I do want the name. Actually, there's a line on here, and I like that. Let's do it right at that line. So I'm going to stick my pin in there. I'm going to turn it over and hoop it. And the good thing about this too is there's not going to be so much hanging over. Actually, I have this backwards. So this is the large tab on the Mighty Hoop that's going to face out, not against the machine. And so I want the hanging part there. And then this part will go slide into the machine. And so I want that here. So if you heard me say there was some lines, I like this line right here. I can put this line right in the center. It's just like a fold line or something from the manufacturer, but that's helping me to center this. Then I bring this down and just make sure that I'm straight all the way on both sides. My line is here in the center. I have to find, so there are some markings on your Mighty Hoop that really help you to center things. And so I can feel that with my hand. There's the center right there. There's my pin. And then those two sides. And then right, am I feeling the right thing? Yep, right there. So there we are. I need to figure out where I laid the other part of my hoop. And it is just leaning on something. I'll be back. Okay, I found it. And I actually wanted to add my solvy inside my hoop. I'm going to take my pin out and put it right on the top because I still want to let the laser or the first needle find the middle for me, make sure. I said before that I use my cart here, some of the markings on the cart, to make sure that I am in the middle and make sure that there's no needles or anything stuck to the magnets of this. That has happened to me before. And so that's good. Here we go. So my solvy is a little bit small for this hoop width-wise, and so I get a little bit of puckering because it's not fitting snug under both sides, but it's not too much. It's good enough. So I'm ready. Did I do that right? I did not. I did it upside down. I don't know if you guys can tell. And so what I'm looking at is that my tab, that stick out tab is up here, and the warning sign always has to go opposite that. And so this is the right way for this hoop. And so it's going to go in the machine this way. I'll bring you guys in. Move what I call my portable hooping station. And it's just going to fit right in here. This is nice. It's not too much extra, and I'm not going to be so worried about that catching underneath and ruining the whole project, because I am not for picking out stitches this go around. Actually, it's a little short, so it could get caught. But I think it's good. It looks really even. I look to see where both sides are hanging. My laser is hitting right in the middle of where I had the needle. But let's be sure. So let's do a trace. We're doing a normal trace, and okay. I think this is a 12 or 13-inch design, and there's no real rhyme or reason to the size of the design. I just try to do it depending on the letters that I pick, the font that I choose. And once I go to make them larger or fit them in the hoop, there's only so much stretching you want to do. Sometimes I pull from that corner, and I can just tell by looking from doing it so many times, and also by measuring, because if it's a satin stitch, I don't want to make it so big that now I have changed the size of that letter for that satin stitch to be out of the safe zone for a satin stitch, right? And so this one's about 13 inches, which is good. This is I don't even know. I said it the other day. Is it a 10 by 19, a mighty hoop, 10 by 19. So my colors are set. My bobbin is new. My machine is oiled. And embroidery is on already. And let's go. So it should give me number 10 first. Perfect. And that'll give me that should be all of the knockdown stitch. And then once that's done, then it'll be the royal blue on top for the actual name or the stitching. So I'll be back in just a little bit. I always like to take a moment between the two stitch out parts and share with you that beautiful knockdown stitch. I just love it. Sometimes I feel like I want to just leave it like that. I just want to leave the tone on tone with the knockdown stitch. But here we go. I'm not doing that. It wasn't the plan. I need to get on with the next part. Okay, here it is. This is how it turned out. I love the colors. This is exactly the look I was going for, which does not always happen. Now, sometimes I choose some colors and it's not exactly what I was thinking, but this is it. I just wanted true blues on here without any green tints, and the background to be pretty close to the. I need something. I need to go along and pick all of that out. It turned out really pretty, really simple, kind of the look that I was going for. And then again, here is the back side of the blanket. So I'll put these two together, and I will save that. Well, actually I need to cut around this, and for this one I used tearaway, so I do really have to cut that and not just tear it off. And I said earlier, because this is just the one piece of material, I want the stitches to stay pretty stable in there. And then for the next part of this same gift, is the baby wipes holder. So I've chosen this. Originally this for the front, and this was going to be the back. It's just a scrap piece of marine vinyl. But I think that these bears are really large for probably a 7-inch holder. Once the ring is in the middle, you won't be able to see them. And so it makes me think that I'm going to use bears on the back too, so that you can really see the pattern of the bear. So I'm going to use within the baby wipes holder pattern, there is a one of the patterns within the pattern is for the back to be quilted. So I'm going to quilt one piece of this, set it to the side, and then make the entire baby wipes holder and put his name in the bottom corner. I probably will use this for the name and then use some kind of really tan color, some kind of lighter tan for the stitches around the patch for the name and for the name. So I'm going to get that done next, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.